Hi, everyone, and welcome to a special roofing contractor Q&A. I'm RC editor Art Eisner, and I really appreciate you joining us by video or by podcast. I'm happy to be joined today by RC publisher Jill Bloom, and we're talking about GAF's continuing efforts to improve the roofing industry's environmental footprint. Helping us understand that a little better today are GAF CEO Jim Schnepper and Andy Hilton, GAF's Chief Communications Officer and Head of Corporate Social Responsibility. Thanks for being here. How is everyone?
Hi, Art. Thank you for having us. Doing well.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
You bet. Well, Jim, we had you on just about a year ago to talk about some very exciting news on the recycled shingle front. Tell us a little bit about the recycled asphalt shingle process. Give us an update.
Sure, I'd love to. Following more than a decade of research, as I mentioned the last time we spoke, and really the development of more than really $100 million investment going into this, GAF has really solved what we hope now to be something that others can follow and that we will lead through, which is circularity to asphalt shingles and to the products that we put into the marketplace for all the right reasons, not just because it's recyclable and the best thing to do for the economy, but honestly, I think that this is something that this will put the industry on the path to save asphalt shingles as really the premier shingle preference of products manufactured for keeping water out of houses. And so for that reason, I think that this is a really big deal. And I think one of the things you heard me say earlier on was we were going to enter into this with the understanding that what we did would benefit the entire industry. This wasn't a thing about GAF necessarily. And so that has always been our intent and always been kind of the guidance that led us to the solutions that we're on now, which is the update separating that wet processing, which is what's done in the plant to take that recycled asphalt shingle and put it into new product, and separate that from the dry piece, which actually takes the recycled product, separates it, and makes it into a usable raw material or a usable input for us. And for any industry, quite frankly, that processes asphalt as an input. So that's what we've done. The update now is we have piloted this program, this pilot plant on the dry side. We have now perfected the wet side in our plant manufacturing facility in Tampa. You probably saw the news. I know you talked about it a little bit already, which is that we started manufacturing our first shingles in Tampa, and then it got installed on a home from a veteran that we were helping with Habitat for Humanity put a roof over someone's home that needed help. So all of that's now completely gone through the processing, putting it into a new product, and now putting it onto a home. So we feel very accomplished by having to accomplish that, and now moving into full scale.
So Jim, I think you actually have, we were talking before we started, do you have a couple of samples you can show what those briquettes look like? And I think they made you something special too.
I actually do have. Actually, the one that I'm going to show you first is prettied up with a little silver ribbon around it, just to commemorate that we have it. But this is the size of the briquette. This is what it looks like, much like what you see in your charcoal grill if you use briquettes in your grill. This is a larger version. You can make these pretty much any size. That can be used into, dissolving these kind of ice cubes into your processing.
Congratulations on those installs. That was exciting news to see. It really is incredible, the aggressive timeline you guys have really put on this. Again, we were just talking about the announcement a year ago. You've already got them on rooftops now, and the development just from an R&D standpoint, shingle development usually takes decades to kind of happen. You guys are really accelerating. Why is now the right time?
Right. So honestly, I thought when we 5 years ago really kicked this off to double down, was a word you also used, double down on recycle. I thought we were going to have 10 years as an industry to figure our way through this and how to make circularity to asphalt shingles. 5 years later, we see California already beginning to put the industry on notice to find ways to do something other than put these shingles into landfills. We saw Boulder, Colorado put into practice that they are not allowing anything asphalt shingle-wise except for impact-resistant shingles because their landfills were filling up every time they would have a hailstorm. And so it's happening quicker than I thought, that the communities are going to start mandating, I believe, that shingles cannot go into landfills. And I think it's just start of it. I think it's going to go across the country, and for all the right reasons, it should. But it's faster than we thought. So to your point on how fast we're moving, it's really dictated by what I believe is going to be our ability to sell these products and market. I think its time is now.
Yeah, most definitely, Jim. I mean, it's just really exciting, and congratulations again on those installs. It's so great to see, especially that it was a veteran. But Andy, I've got a question for you. So GAF recently made a major announcement on some environmental goals. And can you tell us what all the excitement is about, and what do we need to know?
Yeah, my pleasure. So last Friday on Earth Day, GAF released its second annual sustainability report. So it's the second time that we've published a full reporting on our ESG activities and goals and targets. And what's new this year for us was this the first time we published our 2030 planet goals, environmental goals for the planet. And so, really excited to put out there for everyone to see, the areas of focus for the organization, and they can, track along with our progress through the report. But, in the report, we laid out, goals in 4 specific areas: product circularity, that's core to what Jim just spoke about with respect to the recycled asphalt shingle. It's our intention and our goal to introduce recycled asphalt content into all of our products, by all of our shingle products by 2030. And in doing so, start to divert upwards of 1 million tons of asphalt shingle waste from landfill every year. So product circularity, both in our residential shingle line, as well as our commercial roofing line, it becomes a priority as part of these goals. Another area we're focused on is operational waste. So the waste that's generated from the manufacturing process. We have a lot of really fantastic progress that has been made in that area at GAF over the last 10 years. Our goal, though, is to certify that all of our plants across the entire GAF network are at least 80% certified for waste diversion. So that's a goal for us to achieve by 2030. Carbon emissions is obviously another area, a third area of focus for us. We have discrete, carbon reduction goals that we will be targeting as part of 2030. And now that we've, done the hard work of baselining our carbon footprint across all of our operations across what they call Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3 operations. And so with that baseline in hand, we've got discrete programs now targeting carbon reduction across the business. And then the fourth area of focus is product transparency. We know that our partners and our customers, more than ever, they want to know. They want a detailed accounting of what's inside the products that they're purchasing, what the environmental impact of those products are. And so we've always been a leader, especially in the commercial roofing side, with product transparency. We've got more, EPDs or environmental product declarations and certifications than any other manufacturer in the commercial roofing space. Our intent is to have 100% of our product portfolio, our core product portfolio, covered through these environmental product disclosures, and make that information publicly available for partners and for customers to see as they consider their own environmental impact. Knowing how our products play into their footprint is obviously critical. And so we're committed to delivering, again, full transparency across the product portfolio for our partners by 2030 as well. So four areas of focus, ambitious targets in each, and we're excited by the progress we've made so far, but there's work to do, and we're committed to achieving these goals.
So how many millions of tons actually go into landfills each year that are shingles?
Yeah, currently the best estimates we have are about 13 million tons of shingle waste end up in landfill every year. So there's a lot of opportunity and need for that to be addressed.
Well, that's absolutely is a lot of opportunity. And when you guys mentioned raw material earlier, I mean, everybody seems like there's a lot of shortage on raw materials. What's that opportunity, Jim, for raw material? That sounds pretty huge to have American-made raw material.
That's exactly right, Jill. That's the opportunity that's there. I mean, the 1 million that we're going to divert for roofing, there's so much more. That 12 million tons additional is the opportunity, right? And where can that go? And it could really, honestly, our product can go to anyone who uses asphalt as an input. So anybody that uses asphalt as a raw material could potentially use this. And it can also be used in other areas like as a filler replacement, things like that. But everything from pavement to below grade waterproofing to anyone, quite honestly. So there is an opportunity to get to a zero to landfill with asphalt shingles.
Jim, I wanted to ask you, you mentioned this, that part of this initiative is really about driving the industry forward, particularly when governments on a larger level, are really being slow to address this in a meaningful way. Have you noticed other industry stakeholders really, starting to change or take notice of what you're doing and propel their own initiatives?
Yeah, absolutely, Art. And as you would imagine, ARMA, the Asphalt Roofing Manufacturers Association, has really been watching, right, and understanding what and how can we make circularity our products, but also how do we even start just recycling in any way, whether it's pavement or anything else, and where are those opportunities? I think the industry is really committed to solving this. And I will tell you that sitting on the board of ARMA, it comes up in every meeting, and I know everybody is focused on trying to find their solutions and their way to, really solve this issue of what do we do with asphalt shingles and keep them out of landfills. So it's really encouraging.
And is there a bit of a competitive nature, to that? Obviously, ARMA has a lot of different stakeholders, but I guess overall, what do you think will need to happen to really push the needle? Because the building materials industry really has an opportunity to kind of drive that circular economy.
Yes. Well, look, I hope that us having a solution now, I think we're the first ones to announce it. I think I'm fair enough to say that. I think us finding the path there will get others to go even quicker and faster in their finding solutions. Remember, I also mentioned that this is a raw material input, just like we would buy or purchase, I should say, any kind of raw material, whether it's granules or filler or mat from the industry. This could be one of those raw materials as well that others can also have access to. Done correctly and at scale, there certainly is potential there, even if others can't find their way there quick enough. So it's less of a competitive thing at this point, honestly, Art, than it is, a solution and something that we're ahead and willing to work with others.
Well, and in addition to recycling asphalt, that's not the only innovation going on at GAF. GAF Energy recently introduced its Timberline solar shingle. What's been the reaction so far?
It's been tremendous. Probably, you weigh the timing of your announcement of new innovations with the full scale availability of the products themselves.
You have to now.
And you have to be careful, right? I will tell you that we were, as we're rolling this out slowly because we have to also build manufacturing facilities for this product. And what's great about it is that the reception so far has been tremendous. And people are really encouraging us to go faster so that they can get access to these products more broadly across the United States. So we made a real big kind of splash or announcement at our Wealth Builder conference that GAF holds every year. Over 1,000 contractors attend that typically, and we're again this year. And the response was just tremendous. And many of those contractors are anxious, like I mentioned earlier, to really get their hands on those products. And as we roll it out, hopefully we'll go fast enough to keep the interest there. But it certainly is a good solution. It's a different solution, and it's one for our contractors, because you don't have to be a specialist or think differently about how you're installing or quoting or working with these products versus an asphalt shingle. It installs the same way. You nail it down just like an asphalt shingle. Electrician comes in and hooks it up relatively quickly, and you're on your way. So it's the fastest speed on installing that of a solar product that we know of.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Wealth Builder. Jill, you were there, right?
I have to say, Andy and Jim, that was an incredible experience. And there's no doubt you are hit the nail on the head. The energy that I saw and the excitement from the contractors about what's happening at GAF was very obvious. It was a great honor to be there. And that being said, I mean, it's a great education event for your contractors. How do you continue that momentum and educate contractors on this becoming a differentiator for their business?
Yeah, I'll take that, Jill. So, I think obviously education is key here. And I think when we look across the sustainability story that we've kind of talked about today, both in terms of the, the initiatives and the activities that GAF is committing to, educating contractors who are in the home and representing, GAF as well as their own enterprise when they're in the home and selling, arming them with the tools and the messaging and the ability to communicate, the opportunity that comes with working with an organization like GAF and helping to articulate its commitment to community and the environment. That's certainly an area of focus for us, and it continues to be. The forum like Wealth Builder, creates an opportunity for us to spend time not only sharing the initiatives that are happening within GAF and how contractors can take those into the home, but also creates opportunities for us to learn a lot more. And so, for example, when speaking about the recycled asphalt shingle program and process, we're working hand in glove with our contractors to learn more about the take back process. How can we work with them to recover the material coming off of the roof? How can we work with them to be able to differentiate in the home when speaking to homeowners about options to either recycle the roof or return that their old roof or to landfill it. And so using these opportunities for connection and engagement both ways, because we have a lot to learn from the contractors who are in the home, talking to homeowners, understanding what's important to them, and so that we can come back to them and give them the tools that they need to be able to differentiate based on working with an organization like GAF that is committed to things like recycle, circularity and solar, and operating efficiently and effectively in the most sustainable way possible. So we think there's opportunity for two-way education. We have through our care training organization, we're out there educating on these topics. And so there's lots of opportunities to engage, and we've been finding every opportunity we can to talk to contractors about what we're doing and how they can help us to accelerate our goals. That's our focus right now.
Jim, does any of this environmental emphasis change who GAF's ideal customer is?
So it's interesting, Art. It's a really good question, and one that I know internally was asked here. The answer, what's really amazing about this is it doesn't, right? I mean, I think that the entire industry is starting to understand, including our customers, what's important to the environment, but also in the products that they purchase and where they want to place their bets or put their money. And it's most interesting, most of the studies we've done through our marketing group has really shown us that more and more people are selecting the products and the systems that they choose for everything based on the environmental impact that it's having. And if it's stated, that's what kind of drives that thinking. So I think that this industry moving in that direction is going to be very beneficial for those that move quickly.
And so how would you like to see contractors, perhaps even the ones that aren't really environmentally savvy yet, engage in this process, and where do they find out more?
Right. So I think, Andy, do you want, I know I'm going to throw it to Andy, but I think, the one thing that I'll encourage all contractors to talk about is that add this into your sales calls. Let people know what it is, what the industry is doing, because it is front and center in the minds of a lot of people out there. And, depending on how much you want to dig in, or someone has, shows an interest in digging in deeper as a customer, I would make sure that they understood, what they're able to do to be more sustainable, and to really put that forward to the customers that they sell. And Andy, where to engage and to come back, I'll let you take that piece.
Yeah, you bet. There's a couple of easy ways. Obviously, with respect to learning more about GAF's sustainability goals and commitments and progress, the best place to go is to the report which we publish on Friday, and that's found easily at gaf.com/sustainability. And then specifically with respect to the recycled asphalt shingle project, the best place to go is gaf.com/roof cycle, ROOF CYCLE roof cycle, and there you can actually sign up for updates too, so that we can share as that program and as that process continues to unfold and scale. We're able to reach out and provide educational information as well as updates on progress in a timely fashion. So those are two great places to start, and once you find your way there, you'll find other resources available as well.
All right. Before I let you go, guys, any hints on what you're working on next?
We are
Like
working
that
on,
laugh, Jim. I can tell he's like, do I say or not?
there's so much, Art. Look, I will tell you that I can't wait for you to keep calling me and asking me questions around this, because we're going to keep making more and more announcements. We're really committed to innovation. Standard Industries, as you know, our holding company, loves innovating, and innovation and sustainability is what really they're pushing through all their companies. And certainly you'll see a lot more from us.
All right. We'll hold you to that. Jim, Andy, thanks for your insight today. And thanks again, everyone, for joining us. If you haven't already, before you go, please be sure to register for Roofing Contractors' free e-news magazine and sign up for our latest e-newsletters at roofingcontractor.com. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
Hey!